I'm still wearing the same shirt. It's because I sleep in it. Okay. Um, oh my goodness. Ooh. Okay. So, um, I wanted to do some antepartum energy clearing, which has to do with abstract symbolism, abstract concept energy clearing. It also has to do with like cleaning out the eighth dimension. I guess you could say eighth dimension. Yeah, dimension, cleaning out the eighth dimension. I forgot that the eighth dimension has so many different layers to it. Like it has so many layers before you even reach the ninth. Like we're not even thinking about the ninth dimension right now. That it's like the difficulty from getting from the 3D to the 5D, like how many years it takes, how much labor it takes, how much ascending it takes, how it can span over like how long. But then when you get through to the fifth dimension and you like, then it's like a rest period, right? God is love energy, because that is the fifth dimension. And then what you call it? Then moving from five gets easier to 6, 7, and then 8, right? Gets 6, 7, and then you bounce from 6, 7 for a couple of months, and then like 8, right? Just because time, obviously, you know what I mean. But because like time, like beyond the 7D doesn't like really isn't really, you know what I mean, time anymore. It's like more so like the yeah, like an abstract concept that allows for time to exist, right? Which would then move it from 8 to 7, right? Then 7 to 6, where the formula exists in the sixth dimension, right? So these people, like, so the individuals want to, okay, so it seems like there's individuals that are watching people create formulas. So, like, mathematicians, like, they manifest formulas into existence, into 3D. They manifest formulas, but it takes thousands of years of wisdom, thousands of hours of meditation, so much work. Like it takes so much work. Some people, individuals, think that they are great mathematicians, right? As if like, and I don't mean that they actually understand that that is mathematics and that they're mocking and mimicking mathematicians. I mean that they, when the same thing, like they might, if I might say, well, they think they're God, but it's not like they're actually thinking in terms of like, oh yes, I am God, but it's leading there, right? Right? God forbid, but it's leading towards there. It's leading towards that aspect of self, right? That dark narcissism. Okay, hold on one second. Let me switch on the light properly. Okay, so I'm not going to be here for too long just because I want to take a shower and everything, right? Because I got work to do. So, what'd you call it? So, antepartum energy is what we're going to meet energy clearing, which has to do with, so there's a lot of rituals that are done pre-labor, antepartum, right? There's a lot of rituals that are done. Like now that I think about it, right? It's not something that you take lightly. Labor isn't something that you take lightly, and also it hurts a lot. What'd you call it? So there's a lot of protection that comes in antepartum, right? And so that antepartum energy is something that, like, let's say, is hugely missing in America, right? Very rarely do you see people actually care antepartum to the point where they would even call it like obsessive for you to care about antepartum energy, which is wild, like wild, right? It's like very crazy. Like, and this is what I've noticed once I understood the 1950s, like, or the 1850s, no, the 1950s. In the 1950s, there would be a lot of abusive husbands in the United States, right? And like they specifically would show worship to their wives, and then like, but they wouldn't actually do rituals with their wives with antepartum. So a huge thing about antepartum is, by the way, like massaging your wife's feet, right? It's a huge thing because there's a lot of swelling involved. There's a lot of also there's the feet of of human beings are one of like is so powerful, right? This is why Jesus also brings up feet quite a bit. So it's like also understanding the importance of feet, which is why I would never knock someone who's into feet. Like, okay, do you? That's, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna act like I don't know why, but I know exactly why. And I mean, it does get weird, right? But what you call it? Well, who am I to judge, right? At this point, you know what I mean? Especially that. But that's what I mean as well. Is like there's a lot of people who don't care, are adverse to it. So like on an extreme side. And then apart from antepartum, oh, so apart from antepartum, you see, apart from ignoring the importance of healing during antepartum, they also ignore the substance that comes after antepartum, which is labor, like literally. So we're gonna do some energy clearing right now, and it seems like it's a curse of antepartum. So a lot of people also in America, like they don't care, and I'm not saying it's only in America. I'm saying go. Oh, hold on. Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry, I had to answer that call. Okay, so basically, what you call it? Yeah, basically, that's actually really funny that I got that call right now. That I think about it because it's like they. Oh my gosh, that's actually perfect. Okay, so I wanted to what you call it, do some energy clearing. It looks like, yeah, there's a lot of things that are trying to jump ahead. That's another thing right now, right? They're trying to jump ahead to straight to the labor, where there's a lot of antepartum that's meant to occur, right? So, or antepartum work that's meant to occur. So, which is what it seems like people aren't used to. And like as I was saying, America chooses to. It's like a melting pot of different cultures, right? But that's like everywhere to me. That's like everywhere to me. Oh, geez, sorry. Um, how do I explain this? There's a lot of time in America, right? There's a lot of time in America. This is because it's um missed opportunity, missed time. I don't know how to explain it. It's like America's under judgment. That's what it is. The United States of America is under judgment. And so you can really see fuchsia, stop. You can really see like you can really see um everything. Like yeah, you can really see the reflection of the world in America. There it is. America reflects the world, right? Whereas, let's say in Africa, Africa reflects like, well, I can't say Africa, but I can say Nigeria, like, for example. Nigeria reflects like economy. Like, yeah, I feel like Nigeria reflects economy pretty well. Russia reflects um, society very well. You know what I mean? China reflects like technology, like really good. Japan reflects like fuchsia, like coordination, like value, I could say very well as well. And so you can really tell when a country or state of being or an energy, right, is under judgment, their both their issues and their solutions. So what'd you call it? So a lot of people in America, they don't care about antepartum energy. So a lot of the time it even like mirrors European would you call it, like trying to hide pregnancy energy, rather than like, let me take care of myself because this is important for my labor. Let me take care of what I'm going to be going through. Like, how many people died in labor, right? How many people died in labor? And there could have been a solution for it if people just cared about antepartum. So let's just get into the reading. Okay, let's get into the reading, because this is an energy clearing reading, so we don't have to really tap into antepartum, but I just wanted to, like, you know what I mean, like, spread some awareness when it comes to the importance of antepartum before we start. But there you go, you see what I mean, before we start. So let's get into it. Let me grab some. Wait, didn't I already grab that? Oh, there it is. Okay. What? Okay, I can't tap it. Okay, we're just gonna keep this on. So give me a second, y'all. Okay. Okay. So, hold on, take another sip. I woke up later than I should have because I fell asleep at like 3 a.m. Anyways, let's tap into the reading. Let's tap into what the Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit wants us to know, okay? Or chooses for us to know, is showing us, right? Tapping into the message from God, right? From the angels, from the ancestors. So, yeah. So it's talking about, this is what I was talking about, missed time. Like, this is what I was talking about. So there's time, the body of time, right? And it's like time produces, right? Time is something that labors as well. People like don't understand that. Like, time can produce, time can give birth to healing. It can give birth to war. It can give birth to like anything that, like any kind of abstract concept, for real, right? So, but the abstract concept ascends. So this is really what I was trying to tap into here, is like, because obviously there was something that I was noticing where it was like, you can give birth to Christ on earth in the 3D, but in order for Christ to be activated, Christ has to ascend. You see what I'm saying? So that's another thing, right? So time that exists more in the 6D can give birth to something like an abstract concept. But the abstract concept is given birth to into 5D energy. For it to be fully activated and fully at its power, it has to go into the 8D energy in order for it to produce. You know what I mean? The abstract concept then produces. So, what'd you call it? So there are people who like think that they're in the 5D or think that they're in the 6D. And this is another thing, yeah. They're trying to, I figured out the issue, so I'm gonna like do this. So what are they doing? What weapon are they forming right now? Because they were trying to form a weapon against me right now. And like this, and I'm recognizing, you know, obviously I know my power, so like I'm recognizing, yeah, they were trying to signal solar persona, plant small pieces of information to grow into rumors or panic. So they were trying to use that, some sort of small piece of information, or trying to act as if that they had known something, as if that, okay, so this is like something where it's like, this is like cloud chasing energy. It's like it's that energy is like cloud chasing energy. It's like a attempting to implant some sort of information. Anyway, defrauder. Yeah. You would think that cloud chasing wouldn't be like that, but no, it's bad. It's bad. Let me see. Let me actually. Yeah, the 8th circle. You see what I'm talking about now? I knew it. So it's like what'd you call it? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it mirrors the world. I don't know how to like explain this in like to explain this in the most basic terms. Heaven and hell don't mirror each other. The dimensionality experience, the dimensional experience beyond the 4 5D doesn't mean that just because the number is 8 that there's some sort of, this is what I'm trying to say. It's like, I don't know how to else to explain this, but it's like there it is, like there's the simulation. um just because, yeah, like I don't know how to explain it, because it's like you can't argue with stupid. If they really believe, and that's what they believe, that that they're in fraud hell, right? And that since that's the eighth circle of hell, that they can like hyper jump. That's what it is. They think they can hyper jump. But hyper jumping is something that exists within like everywhere else that isn't hell. Like hell doesn't let you do anything. Like hell isn't somewhere where you can hyper jump. Like that's not how it works, right? So that's creating portals, right? So they think that they can create portals in hell, and that's not how it goes. And so, like I said, you can't argue with stupid. If that's what they choose to believe, then I guess like suffer. Like I don't know what you want. Like you're already suffering, and now you want to suffer more. Like that's sounds like hell. Like beats me. Anyways, yeah, signal solar persona. Plant small pieces of information to grow into rumors or panic. The truth about it is also like they think they believe that they're in hell while they're on earth. And so, which is where hyper jumping would be possible, right? But what wouldn't allow you to hyper jump from earth, right? It would be hell, because there are people who are registered to go to hell, right? Their destiny is to go to hell. And that isn't only like it means that they're the Holy Spirit, God, right? Jesus Christ is leaving them because they are merging with hell. You know what I mean? So it's like they're merging with hell, and God is the one hyper jumping. Okay, so now it's making more sense. That's why defrauder is in reverse. So God is the one hyper jumping, and I don't know what they're doing. They're trying to plant small pieces of information to grow into rumors or panic, right? So weighs others down with obligation or guilt, right? Maintains an intricate network of control where every strand leads back to them. So webkeeper persona with the anchor dropper persona. They are like accumulating, yeah, like they're only moving, like here it is. Let me explain to you guys. So according to Dante's Inferno, right? Because obviously that's, you know what I mean? We all, they're okay. So remember when I talked about their, like I thought that there were only, like I thought I was like the only one who was able to leave hell because, well, I never really belonged there. So apparently I wasn't. Obviously there were people before me, thank God, because like that's the thing. It's like to always remember that there were people before you, and then remember the people that were after you. But I didn't want to believe that. It's not about not believing, and obviously I knew that that was real, and there's just no way that I could accept that, because it's like I couldn't feel okay with knowing that there were people that were innocent in hell. You know what I mean? I couldn't feel okay with that. But as soon as like I understood that, well, since I left, why wouldn't have they, gone and like all that, like left hell and everything like that as innocent people? So I was like, oh well, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. So like now I'm happy. You know what I mean? So basically, fraud, right? Reserved for those who betray trust through deception, trickery, and manipulation, divided to 10 ditches, each punishing a specific kind of fraud. Flatterers, there it is. Simonists, sorcerers, hypocrites, thieves, false counselors, counterfeits, etc. After that, it goes into treachery, even worse than fraud. This is the betrayal of special bonds. That's the 9th circle. Family, guests, country, benefactors. this is where Satan himself is found, frozen in ice. So yeah, so like, you know what I mean? It's like I went to the very bottom just to make sure that I was like where because I'm a benefactor, right? Remember, I told you guys I'm a benefactor. And so it's like if someone betrays me, right? Yeah. If someone betrays me, right, and commits treason against me, that's where they go. They literally go to Satan himself. Like they literally go to the bottom of hell. Like this is why I try to explain to people like not to betray me. Like I genuinely try to explain to people not to betray me. Like if I hadn't been, see, like family, guests, country, benefactors. If I hadn't been, like, if I hadn't been someone's, if I hadn't been the benefactor, right? Let's say in my past, like, I was, yeah. Let's say before I had became a benefactor, right? I was still family. I was still a guest. I was still in. I was still like technically I was still a country. If you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you. I've been a rock before, so I don't know why you would think that I wasn't a country. I was a country. So we go through many kind of cycles in life. You know what I mean, before we become human, and being human is one of the biggest praises that God could ever give you, because being human is kind of like being an angel on vacation. Like that's really what it is. But I'm an earth angel, so that really like doubles on it, right? So like half angel, half human. I'm like I said, yeah, whatever. But basically it's like, yeah, if I hadn't been any of that, if I had been, let's say, but a seed, right? I was the seed concept of what it is, right? And someone committed treason against me. Let's say like when I was the apple, or quote unquote apple, right? And then someone bit into me, right? Like what happened? They got banished from paradise and then they entered the realm of earth, right? So they hadn't gone to hell. They hadn't been in hell, right? God still, you know what I mean, kind of was lenient on them. Like God showed mercy upon them. You know what I mean? Which just shows how merciful God it really is, you know, in a situation. But would you call it now? Would you call it now? You couldn't betray me, right? Now you can't betray me because it's like now you commit treason against me, you'll be sent to the bottom of hell. That's how it goes. And then like that's just what it is, right? And there's more. There's more, right? There's more because you know times change and things grow, and you know what I mean? I mean, eternity exists for us to play with. Why wouldn't there be more layers, right? So basically, there it is. Contracting market. They were found. False shepherd persona leads others into danger under guise of protection, right? And here's the prudence. So now you guys saw an example of prudence, right? That was me being prudent, right? This was to protect. So this protected my core strengths, right? And then it now brings instability. Brings in, comma, stability. Okay, this is because or hey, what is it? Parentheses? No, semicolon. However you choose, right? It can be a colon. It can be a semicolon, or it can be a comma. Either way, it's gonna lead towards stability, right? So, what'd you call it? Yeah. Yeah. So this is what is going to allow for the assisting of antepartum, right? This is going to assist antepartum, and this is what's going to also help clear the energy for appropriate labor, right? Dang, sorry, I just noticed the time. Like, wow, I don't remember how it got there. Anyway, oh, okay, there. So basically, the whole pressure now, right? And this is what's going to be coming through, is pressured conserving resources. Pressured conserving resources. So pressure for conserving resources amid declining demand. So there's some sort of declining demand. So every time there's some sort of antepartum, right? But what'd you call it? There's a lot of, oh my gosh, I just realized, which describes preliminary contractions and signs that something precedes active labor. You see how close the economy is, market economy is to like feminine nature, like human nature, human feminine nature. It's quite beautiful, isn't it? That's why I had to study it. Come on. Come on. That's why when we talk family, obviously we're going to talk market and economy. Duh. Right. Um, so yeah, there it is. Game board, idolater, and covetous. So they're caught. Structure situation so every move serves them. So they wanted to make it seem like they could structure things. And why are we bringing that energy up, right? Why are we not why are we obliterating that energy? Well, because there's so much time that's in antepartum energy, right? About to produce some sort of concept. There's actually a lot of time producing abstract conceptual understanding, abstract concepts. But the abstract concepts themselves are being, I don't know where they are. Like, let's see. Like, where's the abstract concept? Yeah, exactly. Fourth house. So they're still there. It's like being pregnant for a long time, like longer than you're supposed to. Like, you know what I mean? It's like being 12 months pregnant. You know what I'm talking about? Like being 30 months pregnant. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you would have to be an elephant. Like, you know what I mean? You would have to be an elephant or something, right? And this is like, why would human beings be 30 months pregnant? That's not natural. You know what I mean? And so it's like, especially when it comes to abstract concepts, like that takes no time to even go through labor for. But obviously time has to be the one that produces it. And God through time produces the abstract concept so that you would then receive it, right? But it's like stuck at home. It's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, so there's fourth house energy, which is what I was literally just talking about. If we're going to talk family, right? For wands energy, right? It's technically, it's a mix, right? But would you call it? It's like a 34-year-old still staying with his parents. Like, sure, you might not want to judge them, but judging is not what we're doing right now. We're asking the real questions of why. You see what I'm talking about? Why is that happening? Why are people not getting married? Why are they not having kids? Why are they not? But that's like the least of the questions, really, because we really understand why. Like, that would be gaslighting to ask those kind of questions in relation to human nature. It would be mostly like, why aren't we progressing as an economy? Why are we not building technologically advanced, you know what I mean, machines so that we can be able to compute higher understanding, even though it would also seem like gaslighting to say that, right? And that's the problem. You see what I mean? It's like, no matter what kind of question you're asking when it comes to these things, it's like there's something gaslighting. It's like something like, it's weird. It's weird. But at the same time, it's like the problem isn't the individuals, right? The problem aren't the people. The problem isn't the people in the situation at all, actually. It seems to be some sort of this structure situations where every move serves them. There seems to be this kind of like, I don't know, principality. What is that? Yeah, like, whoa, like, yeah, it's really like it's trying to attack like bad now. Like it's trying to catch on. Like, oh, there it is. Idolater, merit loss. Yeah. Hellgate, merit loss, actually. Yeah. So let me just read this out. Right. Seeks unfulfillment to weaponize pain. There it goes. So obviously, like, God protects us, right? Obviously, God protects us. So if someone is trying to weaponize our pain, God will protect us the way that God will see it through to protect us. You see what I'm talking about? So it's like, I don't even know how to like explain it for real, because it's like, because the whole thing is that they're trying to lead people, move individuals, shepherd people into unfulfillment, right? Which would then cause like death and all that, right? Covetous energy. And this is what I actually noticed yesterday. I was like, oh, covetous, there it is, right? Content, right? Exodus 20:17, Luke 12:15, Surah 4:32, Bhagavad Gita 16:21, 3 of mind. There it is, 3 of mind. So that actually goes right into, so when you ask like, how come that covetous hellgate energy had been basically falsely conceptualized, right? That would be like, so what if I'm saying it's a hell gate in Dante's Inferno, it's like a circle of hell, but it's more so like the opening to the circle of hell. It's that circle of hell. So let's see. So the fourth circle. See what I'm talking about? And then what do you have here? The fourth house. You see what I'm talking about now? It's like, okay, I see. So they're attempting to corrupt systems, right? Portals that are already available for people. So to make it, what'd you call it? So to make it like, so to cause idolatry, okay, basically. So they want to incur idolatry. By the way, the realm of the avarice, hoarders, and prodigal, wasteful, right? Which is what they were. This is what they were trying to throw on me. By the way, like this is what I was talking about earlier. Why it pissed me off so much. Like it was not a joke. Like you're not gonna call me wasteful for shit. Like I did not survive through hell and go through what I went through. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean, live in Africa for, you know what I mean, 14 years for you to call me wasteful. You must have lost your mind type shit. Like you must have lost your shit, bruh, to try and call me wasteful. I'm the wrong person to try and call wasteful. That's how backfire on you. You waste your life, nigga. Sorry. I just had to make sure. Like, so basically, that's why it's coming out pre an antepartum. You see why it's coming out antepartum, why it's so important. So these are people who are obsessed with those are people who are obsessed with material wealth, either clinging to it miserably, covetous, or squandering it recklessly. Punishment. They're to roll enormous weights, great stones against each other. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was like, what am I doing? Like, why are we pushing? You know what I mean? Like, why am I being like, you know what I mean? I knew it. I knew it, bruh. I literally, oh my gosh, like, see, that just shows you that I literally know what it's like, because it actually, like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, it's actually like, no, you guys don't even understand. Hell is so real. Like, it's so real. Okay. So they're forced to roll enormous weights, great stones, against each other, crashing endlessly. Okay. So their eternal conflicts mirrors the imbalance of their earthly desires. So their whole thing of doing that, right, is to incur idolatry, which would then be merit loss, right? So that's why there's a decrease in demand, because it's like it's to protect merit, right? So protects core strength. And the merit in the situation isn't only stability, it's actually multiple things. It isn't just stability, it's multiple things. Is it only? Yeah, it's not only stability, it's multiple things. So allegiance to false sources and self-obsessed. You see what I'm saying? Trying to replace true source. So Exodus 23 through 5, Deuteronomy 5, 7 through 9, Isaiah 44, 9 through 20, Jeremiah 10, 3 through 5, Psalm 11, 4, 1 Corinthians 10, 14, 1 John 5, 21, Romans 1, 23, 25, Surah 4, 36, 6, 151, Surah 31, 13, Manusmriti 12, 95, 10 evil acts, 3 of mine. I'm just realizing how many individuals actually had gone through hell. Like, I'm just realizing this now. Like, so all of you guys went through hell? Like, yes. Like, oh, I thought it was just me. Okay. Well, yay, good job. Like, they're innocent, obviously. You know what I mean? So that's cool. That's cool. So 33 layers. Dang. Jesus was not playing. Jesus was not playing. He was not. 33 every year. That's That's a commitment. Yeah, that's a commitment. He must have been so aware from birth. Like that's probably what it was. Probably why he started glowing so early. Like he must have been so aware. Oh my gosh, it's like what's it called? SAO. It's like Sword Art Online. He just popped right into the game. He just popped right into the game. Like he just popped right into the game, solo leveling. Like oh my goodness. Meanwhile, everybody is like, is this real? What's going on? What's happening? He was just like, let me stack up my let me stack up my boots. Let me bring up the oh my goodness. He like, oh my gosh, have you ever seen that one a book where it's like reincarnated into the Yosha Senki, bro? He Yosha Senki the heck out of this. He knew exactly what was going on. Wow. What a trip. What a trip, bro. What a trip. Bro, I love him so much, man. I love him so much. Every time I'm learning something new, like I'm really like realizing something new, like what a trip. You are so cool. You're so cool, bro. You're so cool, bro. You're so cool. I was wondering why I really like those books. Oh my goodness. He's making me sweat now. Okay. Okay. So when caller persona uses rumors and whispers to shift group direction. So this is what's going on right now. I'm just gonna have to do it like this so you guys don't think I'm like a reptilian. Well, yeah. Yeah. I just can't. So accuses everyone of same self-guilt. Okay, slanderer projects self-hysteria at anyone, right? Leviticus 19:16, 1 Timothy 5:13, Surah 49:12, Manusmriti 8:2, 10 evil acts, 4 of speech. There it goes. So from 3 of mind to 4 of speech, they go to ghostwriter persona, and that's where they try to falsely. So they try to corrupt the contracting market, is what it is. So they try to corrupt the contracting market. Now I see it. And so, and what is it that they do to attempt to corrupt the contracting market? Excuse me. Okay. Oh my gosh. So it's failing now, right? Bell ringer persona, right? Raises alarms to distract others from own actions. So it's like they don't want to take ownership. They want allegiance without ownership. Isn't that loyalty? Wait, what is... Yeah, isn't that loyalty? I'm pretty sure that's loyalty. Yeah, that's loyalty. Loyalty or devotion. Yeah. They want loyalty, is what it is. Echo persona repeats others' ideas as if they originated them. It's all going in reverse. So they try to, that's where it is. That's what I was trying to say. It was like they were premeditating ideas for others. It's so, oh my gosh. It's like artificial insemination, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of like artificial insemination. It's like you taking sperm from the bank and then the person who donated the sperm coming to you and being like, that's my child, because it's my sperm type shit. It's like kind of like that, but at the same time, it's like also trying to sue the person for, what'd you call it? Yeah, it's like that. I don't know how else to explain it. It's also like that's how they're attempting to corrupt it. It's so, oh my gosh, it is treacherous, isn't it? It's extremely treacherous. Look, you so you might phrase it as devoted fidelity. That's what I'm saying. Unpossessive loyalty, faith without domination. Or sorry, faith without dominion. That's what I'm saying. That's how they're trying to one track. It's very complicated. It's like the only one who, obviously, the only one who could take possession over, no, the only one who could adopt children in that manner would be God. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to, like I said, they don't realize the extent of punishment that comes by that. But they're attempting to adopt, like, as if that they had like free allegiance to do so. Yeah. So this is all within, yeah, liar. You see what I'm saying? They're being seen as a liar. Like, that's because it's like, it's not, there's no way. There's just no way, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Obsessed over destruction of others denies reality beyond relief. Exactly, because there's a whole reality around the allegiance. There's a whole reality around the loyalty. It's like there's a whole reality, and there's like a denial of it, right? And so that's what I'm trying to say. Leviticus 19:11, Colossians 3:9, Surah 22:30, Manusmriti 4:138, 10 evil acts for speech. And that's how they've been attempting to corrupt the contracting market. That's how they've been trying to corrupt the eighth dimension, quite literally. So face changer persona, alter style, manner, and beliefs depending on the audience. So they were utilizing all of that to do this. This is what it is, that is the action here, the face changer persona, right? The action that they're attempting to utilize to then weaponize pain in the conduct of being a liar and so on and so forth, right? Was always to alter style, manner, and beliefs depending on the audience. So it was always, the whole intention behind it was to like coordinate allegiances towards their submission. Instead of submitting to God, they refused the reality of submittance and instead were calling forth allegiances into submission of their own power. So it's like, for example, like recently, I had been submitting, right? How do I say this? Wow, they've really been trying to corrupt the hell out of it. This is insane. This is insane. That is insane. The whole thing is that they want to mimic other people who do good things in their lives, but they don't understand why the lifestyle is the way that it is. It's like, for example, someone claiming to be a millionaire, like that's the shepherd. They claim to be a millionaire. It's a scam. They claim to, that's why defrauder is still on the table. You see what I mean? They claim to be a millionaire. They start making videos about how to attain millions. And then they force people to sign a subscription, a program to now, like make millions off their back. But then they steal everybody's money and then they run away and go into hiding. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like that's the same level of corruption that they're trying to cause for, let's say, millionaires that make masterclass videos on how to make millions of dollars utilizing their concepts and how to actually tap into who they really are. I've never watched one of those videos, but I assume, well, I'm not going to assume anymore, but I'm hoping, you know what I mean, that there's actual millionaires out here that, you know what I mean, would care about that, right? Because that's, you know what I mean, that would be amazing, and it would actually help pioneer the way for other people to become millionaires and then do the same thing, right? That's what I'm saying. So I actually knew someone like that, actually, where they were claiming that they were a part of like a society that would worship, you know, my past lives and everything like that, and like all my sisters in my past lives and everything like that. And it was like, I would just sit there and watch as they try to like worship me covertly through trying to sacrifice me at the same time while idolizing who I used to be. Like, it was really crazy. Like, I would just sit there and watch. Like, it was like, wow, like, you're fucking nuts. Like, you're actually crazy. But the craziest part of the scenario and situation was like what they were really doing to their children, which was what was shocked me the most, right? And that's what it was that, taught me, like, what I didn't want to do when my children were to arrive here on earth, kind of situation. So recessionary market is throwing them out, right? Because that's what it was that they were attempting to abuse in order to get into the contracting market to corrupt it. The recessionary market basically challenges pressure for survival during economic showdown. So they were trying to make it seem like there was some sort of declining demand due to an economic showdown, as in like there was some sort of loss, right? But the reality of the situation is that there really isn't a declining demand, but it wasn't due to some sort of economic showdown, right? So the whole thing would be to endure something. The decline doesn't present, doesn't present endurance, right? The decline presents for stability. Let me give an example of declining demand. So let's say there's a declining demand in shrimp right now, right? So in Kroger in the US, there was a whole bunch of radioactive shrimp that was found, right? So there's a huge decline in demand when it comes to, by the way, I warned you guys about that. Didn't I tell you that it was some sort of fucking nuclear thing? I warned you. So, so like, let's say now, or Shabbat is coming up. It's Shabbat, by the way. Or sorry, Rosh Hashanah right now, right? So a lot of Jews right now aren't eating shrimp because it's already, you know what I mean, hard labor to take off the thing from the poop, right? From the thingy. And it's just going to take up a lot of time. It's not like we even, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like Jews even like enjoy like shrimp all that much, right? So it's like there's going to be a huge decline in shrimp, right? People don't want to eat shrimp anymore for some reason. People are more interested in like chicken and beef and all that stuff, right? So due to the decline, right, there's what'd you call it? Let's say fish markets right now are starting to like what do you think the fish markets are gonna do? They're gonna inspect their shrimp, right? Now there's gonna be like, oh, we only give the best of the best high quality shrimp. So if you really want shrimp, or if you think you didn't want shrimp, but now you're gonna see more high value shrimp, right? So that people can really, understand. You know what I mean? Like it's there's a lot of actions being taken through prudence to protect core strengths and then merit stability. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of actions that can be taken. Just because there's declining demand doesn't mean that there's going to be decline of supply or decline of value. Okay. So a lot of people may think, well, shrimp are getting out of market now, so there's not going to be high quality shrimp anymore. Well, because there was such a disruption in the shrimp market, there might actually be higher quality shrimp than there had ever been before, due to the fact that they're protecting the core strengths and values, especially when it comes to shrimp. Shrimp are like a huge resource, right? Crayfish, right, is huge. So like you can't you know what I mean, falsify or fake something like that, right? You can't do that. You can't falsify, fake a market, right? Like a recessionary market, right? You see what I'm saying? They wanted to falsify a recessionary market, right? So the recessionary market is kicking them out because they don't understand the true value of a recessionary market, which is overcoming the economic showdown. So what would be the economic showdown within the situation? Let's say for real, what would be an economic showdown? This is separate from the contracting market, right? Or away from the contracting market, or in a different realm as the contract, a different realm away from the contracting market, because it would be like an entirely different kind of investigative route. So this is where that is where they were trying to affect the most. So where would be endurance, right? Serving faithfully, resilience. So like, what would be a recession? Like, yeah, like the housing market, right? The housing market would be a part of the recessionary market because it's about the economic showdown when it comes to it, right? Would be like right now, land is a touchy subject, right? So like ownership over land in the United States is a very, very touchy subject. Like you don't really want to be seen as an owner of any kind of land right now. But if you're an owner of a land, are you really understanding the whole importance and like deeper meaning of that land? Like if you're gonna claim ownership, and this is the thing, you see what I'm saying? Free allegiance, faith without dominion. You see what I'm saying? And that's really bringing it to perspective, isn't it? It's like if you're expecting to own land, right, then there's gonna be dominion in that land, right? But if you're expecting that the land be submissive to you, loyal to you, without any kind of ownership representation within the land to allow you to now have to be linked with the dominion, to now allow the dominion to work through you so that God could work through you for the land, right? Then what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? What are you doing? So like, for example, yeah, serving faithfully. You see what I mean? So there's faith here. The most important thing is the faith, right? So this can also be like, maybe the recessionary market right now is the church or something. I don't know, but it's like there's obviously a recessionary market that they're trying to cover, right? They're trying to act like doesn't exist, as if that they have to be the ones to represent it. Yeah, like this is something that is not going to change. Like this is something that is like occurring and it's not going anywhere. Yeah, there it is. I knew it was going to come out. So there it is, false teacher. I knew it. I like literally knew. I like literally knew it. Yeah, I have to go soon. But I'm going to quickly say false teacher. So turning faith away from people, straight up lying actively. So that really doubles down on it, right? Voided, right? Deuteronomy 18:20 through 22, Matthew 7:15, Surah 6:93, Manusmriti 4:195, 10 evil acts for a speech. So they're trying to like project what they're doing, right? Okay, so they really are in the fourth layer, going down to the eighth layer, downwards. From the eighth circle to from the fourth circle to the eighth circle, because the hoarders shout like, why do you hoard? And the prodigals shout, why do you waste? You see what I'm saying? So the whole thing, you see what I'm saying? The whole thing is like they're projecting you. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like they will be the ones lying, and then they're projecting like as if that you're the ones lying, collective. And it's such an irritant. It's such an irritant. It's also causing a lot of like confusion, which is what the incurrence of sin was. That is why it was called an occurrence of sin. So now it's going back to sender, and now it's also being obliterated, like literally obliterated, because the market that they were actually supposed to be in, which is what they were trying to corrupt into the recessionary market, was the regulated market. There you go. It was the regulated market. I knew something was like obviously there, which has to do with discipline, right? So, which is why I said I have to go soon, right? So pressure for compliance within newly imposed standards. So there's clearly newly imposed standards within a situation, but the pressured compliance already exists. So there's already pressured compliance, right? So just because there's newly imposed standards doesn't mean that compliance moves away, right? Or like now there's no compliance, or now people have to adapt to comply. No, the whole point of the pressured compliance is to still remain disciplined as newly imposed standards are being incurred, right? Or being worked through, right? So for example, like this is really blowing my mind. Like this is really blowing my mind. Like I feel like there's like, oh my gosh, like someone is really trying to like manifest hell for others. And they're trying to make it seem like Hell's Kitchen energy. I don't know how to explain this to you, bro. Hold on one second. So in Hell's Kitchen, the reason why, like here, how about we look up why Gordon Ramsay called it Hell's Kitchen, right? Why did Gordon Ramsay name the kitchen Hell's Kitchen? I'm going to say the kitchen. Tough neighborhood in Manhattan, New York City. Got his name 19th century, when is known for crime, poverty, gang violence, and rough living conditions. Shorthand for brutal, unforgiving environment. Basically, intense, high-pressured environment of a professional kitchen. So the thing is that professionalism is what they're attempting to disrupt. That's what it is, okay? So, professionalism is what they're attempting to disrupt. Okay, compliance comes through by professionalism. For example, complying to professional standards is super important. They don't want to admit to professional standards. They instead are trying to take compliance away from professional standards so that then they can force you, collective, to comply, right? Or try and attempt to force you to comply towards them, which is what I was talking about, which is abuse of authority, right? Yeah, eighth circle. I couldn't make it up. Eighth circle, ninth circle. It's literally, that's it. Like I said. So the whole thing is to follow frameworks by discipline, right? The whole thing that allows the compliance to be seen as natural and like allowed. You know what I mean? As something that, like, you know, if the judge, if God is like, yeah, I'll allow it, right? If you want to comply, I'll allow it, right? Like that's the thing that also protects us in situations, because it's like, well, why would we be obedient to anyone else but God, right? But the reality of the situation is that we're not being obedient to anyone else but God. We are indeed complying to the professional standards that God has allowed us to now be a part of. You see what I'm saying? So that brings more gratitude, more joy, more hope, more softness, more, you know what I mean? More like justice. And the justice within the situation is the following of frameworks, following frameworks, which then brings in, look, sustained access. They keep on trying to, so they want to be the dominion. They want to be the one that is, yeah, they want to, that's what it is. They wanted to make it seem like you had to comply to them in order to sustain access, or to receive sustained access, or to receive your sustained access. So this is the clearing of the antepartum energy. So they do not have the right, no matter who they are, no matter how they got there, no matter what dumbass motherfucking title that they think they have, no matter what kind of ranking they believe that they receive on this planet, on this earth, or in the cosmos, or in the world, they do not have the power of sustained access. Okay? They do not even have half the merit of receiving sustained access. They actually stole it. So now it's being returned to God. I don't know what they thought. The frauder energy. Yeah. I don't know what they thought. That's so irritating. That's so irritating. I can't believe this. Like the brazenness, actually. The brazenness. Yeah, informal market. That's where the hell that they were supposed to be in. Pressured exchange, right? Pressured exchange. See? Pressure for exchange where formal systems are absent. There are already formal systems within a regulated market. They were supposed to be they were supposed to be in an informal market. Remember when I said they were supposed to be in the regulated market? No. They were supposed to be in the informal market. Because there's already formal systems present within a regulated market, which allow for professionalism and compliance. If they don't understand how to properly, exchange, you see, if they don't know how to properly exchange, right? Exchange speech, exchange resources, exchange, right? If they don't know how to properly do that, especially in or it doesn't even matter if there's a formal system presence or not. It's just the skill of exchanging in an informal market, right? If they don't know how to have trust and be trusting and be trustworthy, that's really what it is. They don't know how to be trustworthy. They do not belong in the informal market. So they're under judgment now because they can't honor agreements for shit, and they can't have loyalty. You see what I'm saying now? They can't have loyalty. They can't have it. Yeah, diviner ass energy. They can't have it. There it is. Rope holder persona keeps others tied to past mistakes or debts. They really want to, like, this guy. Okay, I know exactly why the energy is coming out this way. The guy was trying to tie me up when it comes to like, so I was like pulling the tape like really long, right? And he was like, I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't know why anybody would do that. Why would you do that? Because it keeps the linoleum on the fucking surface. You don't want me to do that? That's fine. Let the linoleum and fucking, paper thingy fly everywhere. I don't give a fuck. Don't ask me why. Just make fun of me then, asshole. That's what I'm trying to say. They never want to accept the fact that things make sense when they make sense. They always want to act like there's some sort of nonsensical energy around them and they have to fix it. Dumbass. Anyways, keeps others tied to past mistakes or debts. They thought that was a mistake or debt. No, the only mistake and debt is their mother. Anyways, poison chalice. Offers gifts and carries hidden costs or damages. There it is. Didn't I say it was their mother? So now their mother is under judgment since they tried me. Yeah, there it is. Trying to victimize me. I don't really give a fuck about their family history. I don't have time for this right now. Yeah, there it is. All of it is being stripped away. All of everything is being stripped away. They should be receiving a call any minute now. Yeah, there it is. Now there's protection when it comes to antepartum energy. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Now there's protection when it comes to antepartum energy. Yep. Yeah. Because now they're being seen for exactly who they are and what they are. Fallen star ass energy. Yeah, their innocence had been over. Whatever it is that they were trying to mirror as if it were their innocence, they were actually attempting to steal that concept. They were trying to steal a concept that didn't belong to them. Which, let me explain to you, abstract conceptualism, right? That's why they were basically attempting to incubate, right? False incubation is what it is, right? That's what it is. They were trying to, false witness is what I just saw, but false incubation. They were trying to falsely incubate something. They were trying to act like they created the appropriate environment for some sort of concept to come alive, to be birthed through. But the reality of the situation was that they were stalking. And they were attempting to corrupt the environment and corrupt the concept and corrupt the energy and corrupt the antepartum and corrupt the birth giver. All of it was extremely, extremely treacherous. People are starting to recognize things that they had already healed, that the person hadn't healed. Yeah, there it is. Obsessive and snared energy. They're starting to recognize. People around them are starting to recognize some of the same demons. They're starting to get triggered because they're recognizing the same demon. Something seems a little too familiar. Yeah, something seems a little too familiar. Bloodshed, or they're starting to seem. You know what I mean? Why do we go through hell and survive hell? There it is, state-controlled market. So that's what they wanted to avoid by trying to get into the informal market, which they had the option, right? They had the time. There it is. And now it's going back to God. This is what it was. They had everything that they needed to be in the informal market, but they wanted to abuse it. So now the state-controlled market, which is where the informal market would have been in, right? Which allows for the merit of stability as a byproduct. You see why you didn't have to be in the contracted market to get stability? You see what I'm talking about? It's like, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like there's multiple ways to get the same merit, but they wanted to act as if that there was only one way, and it was as if there was their way, and it had to be through hyper jumping and causing issues for people and trying to abuse God's power and authority. Right. So basically the pressure for central coordination of resources and products. You see what I'm saying? This is like the IRS. So they wanted to act as if that they had the power. So they wanted to avoid the IRS. Maybe I should apply. Maybe I should apply for the IRS. Maybe that's where I belong. Like, now that I think about it, like at this point. But basically, right? They wanted to abuse alignment because they didn't have any, right? They wanted to act as if that they were aligned, as if that something was their calling, as if they had some sort of purpose. I've been seeing this for quite some time. Yeah, yeah, there it is. Their guardian angels are leaving them. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Yeah, because they're going to hell. Like, no wonder. Yeah, look, because, yeah. What the hell? Fuchsia. Sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna clear that energy out as well. That's some deep dark history I just remembered. But basically, yeah, they're going to hell, and their guardian angels are leaving them, and because they can't follow governance. I have to go. They can't follow governance. They don't know the importance of following governance. They don't care about governing and governance, and they think they are the government. They think that they can govern and not understand the governance. You know what I mean? You can't pretend to be a leader and then also not know how to follow. You see what I'm saying? Follow governance. The whole point. It's like God is literally giving you. He's like, here, I want, like, God, in an expression of things and in symbolistic ways, is literally showing humanity, here, I want you to be a leader in my heavens. I want you to learn to be, I'm not saying that he wants, you know what I mean, but he's showing you that you have the option and choice so that you could become a great leader in the heavens, that there's so much space. There's so much that you can do. There's so much that you can master. And he is giving you the option, collective. He's giving you the everything that you might ever need, want, or express, or like there's so much freedom. And it's not about all you have to do. It's that he's granting it to you. You don't even have to thank him. But the reality of the situation, I mean, obviously you would want to thank him just because, you know, that's just the right thing to do, I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Because it does come with nobility, right? So then that will help you in general. But I'm just saying, like, to give out good advice, like, and which I rarely do want to give out advice anymore. But it's basically like you thank God and it allows you attract more gratitude in your own life. You know what I mean? This is about the humility in the situation, not about the gift or anything, right? It's the fact that God is present in your life that you would be humble. Like, you know what I mean? So basically, they don't want to accept that. They don't want to accept humility. They don't want to accept that humility comes through by authority and authority comes through by humility. They go hand in hand. Humility and authority go hand in hand. They don't want to accept that. They want allegiance and loyalty with no kind of, it's ridiculous. Okay, it's ridiculous. Okay, it's covetous, it's treacherous, it's unaligned, it's disgusting, right? And they can't have stability, obviously, because they've failed the message. They failed the pressure, the challenge. They failed the challenge. Yeah, this is the truth. That's the truth. You see what I'm saying? It's the truth. They failed the challenge. I don't know what else to tell you. The whole challenge that they were trying to act like everybody else couldn't pass, that everybody been past. Everybody been past the challenge. Everyone had passed that challenge. As everyone in the collective, they're not a part of the collective, now we know. Like, now people can start to recognize who's not a part of the collective, who is part of the collective, what's going on, how it's happening, why it's happening, so on and so forth, right? And there it is. Yeah, they wanted to, I don't know what that is. That's all the confusion, right? That's all the confusion. Yep, that's all the confusion. They wanted to there's malpractice in there and all sorts of crazy shit. Like, all sorts of crazy shit. Honestly, all sorts of crazy shit. I'm gonna grab my Prism Oracle deck so that I can, like, I guess, like, cover that energy up. Not cover it, but, like, to what I mean by cover for in that term, I mean to, like, in terms of speech, like, to like summarize. That's the word. Yeah, to summarize. Yeah, there it is. didn't I say brazenness? Yeah, they wanted to make seem as if that they could take away confidence, which is also like, think about confidence, confidentiality, right? And then what is another thing that that comes through with confidence? Um, Congeniality, that's the word. Yeah, they wanted to take away congeniality. Yep. Quality of being pleasant, agreeable, friendly, and compatible. They wanted to make it seem as if that was impossible for anyone else but them. Yeah. They were trying to act as if congeniality had been only proposed to them, like as if that they are the only one, like they basically, I don't know how to explain it. They wanted to literally, which is something that was probably being birthed through too. So this is what I'm saying. Okay, I gotta go. Yeah, death. That's it. That's the end of that. Right. That's the end of that. Right. So now we're moving forward. Oh dang. No. Yeah. Now they can't move forward. Yeah. There's the unfreedom, and there's why it wasn't moving forward, and there is what it is that needed to be healed, which is being given to God. So now God is healing and not them, right? God isn't gonna supply them with the healing that they wanted to steal from Him. Like that's the craziest part. They wanted to hurt themselves so that God would heal them. Like that's crazy. Yeah, so that they could make it seem as if that was something that they could project onto other people, as if that was some sort of test. That's another annoying thing. Somebody said that in a reading, and I stopped watching her dumbass readings. And it was that like somebody was trying to test my immortality, so that they wanted to beat me up to see how immortal I was. Bruh, that's not how you. Ooh, the brazen, the trend. The only thing that you will understand by doing that shit is the deep hell that you're really in. Not my immortality. You will never get a taste of immortality that way. In fact, now there will never be immortality for that person. Like they're never going to heaven. They will never get out of hell. Like that's it. It's all eternal hell, damnation, Gehenna. Cycle complete. That's it. They really think that this is some sort of fucking game. They really think it's some sort of game. Like really. They're really out here thinking it's a game. They might as well die now. It won't change. See? All their lies are being seen. All the angels the angels are now seeing their lie. Period. The lie about the false congeniality, which was the Nine of Hearts energy that came out. Nine of Cups energy. Yeah. There it is. You see what I'm saying? They were trying to seduce people with false congeniality. Yeah, as a fallen star, trying to cause malconceptualization, or what is it called again? Like miscarriages. Yeah, there you go. Miscarriages of justice and miscarriages of situations. Yeah, now they're getting caught. Period. Yeah. I couldn't make that up though. They're getting caught now. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Because the secrets of God, the mystery of God will always only be revealed to those whom He has chosen. That's it. Like the mysteries of God will only be revealed to whom He's chosen. And not because a motherfucker decided to hit and abuse and whatever the fuck. Like that shit was insane. Annoying. When I tell you they're so irritating, please, they will no longer be irritating us any longer. I'll see you guys in the next video. Shit is glitched out, by the way, so I don't know how this is gonna turn off.